Hello, and welcome to our Spotlights on Creation series. These are true nature programs without the baggage of evolution. Reporting on what is happening in the natural world is real science. So studying animal behavior, plant classification, or human anatomy are all examples of real science. Guessing what happened long before our time is not real science. It is speculation that only confuses people. So we are here today to present natural science without evolution. In this episode of Spotlights on Creation, we are going to be looking at the mysterious world of fish. Fish provide a challenge for the naturalists to study. The old way to learn about fish was to catch them with nets or hooks and then cut open their dead bodies. But that doesn't tell us much about the living animal. Since I have no interest in ending the lives of God's creatures, I either watch them from above or get in the water with them. Or, like right now, I do both. Snorkeling allows close access to many fish, and interesting behavior can be seen. We once swam with a big scribbled filefish as he tried to hide from us by rapidly changing the color of his skin. He matched perfectly a rocky background that he flattened himself against, then changed color completely and swam away. Once, in the Florida Keys, I fed a nurse shark with a bit of fish left on a pier. The shark gulped the morsel down nearly at my feet before cruising away over the white sand lagoon. I tried to pet her sandpaper rough skin, but she slipped out of reach. Once we watched a deadly struggle between a water snake and a leased brook lamprey in Tennessee. Neither party could gain an advantage as they writhed and struggled. After watching for a long time, we left them to finish their combat undisturbed. Simply standing in a fish-filled pond can be fun. If you hold still long enough, small fish begin to gather and often start to nibble on any bare skin. They are doing the same job for you that their exotic cousins, the cleaner wrasse, do for sea turtles and groupers. God must have really loved the idea of fish, since there are so many incredible variations of design. Let's marvel together at the beauty and wonder of the fish world. This Spotlight on Creation is part of a series of around 20, many of which are only available on DVD. Visit our website to order them all, and be sure to subscribe to our channel so you won't miss any of our new videos. So enjoy a sample of natural science without evolution.
When people think about the animal world, they usually focus on cute furry mammals or brightly colored birds. Some people fancy unusual animals like reptiles or insects. But very few of us pay attention to the fish world. They live underwater, where we have a hard time existing for long. Naturally, we assume fish to be unfeeling, dull animals that swim silently in a world forever alien to us. But what do we know of these aquatic specialists? The reality is that fish are incredibly well-designed creations of God, showing His love of variety and complexity. Fish are amazingly diverse. There are more species of fish than all mammals, reptiles, amphibians, and birds combined. They are found from the deepest spots ever studied in the oceans to the most remote freshwater streams. 75% of the planet is covered by water, and fish are the dominant animals in the water. So let us examine fish to see what special gifts God has given them. Most fish have a bony skeleton and a nervous system like all other vertebrate animals, the mammals, birds, amphibians, and reptiles. The sharks and rays have no bones at all, but God gave them a structure of hardened cartilage instead. All fish breathe using gills. The gills on a fish are a sophisticated system that transfers oxygen from the water directly into the fish's bloodstream. Most fish have teeth varied for many uses and types of food. Despite their reputation, piranha use their sharp teeth to mostly eat fallen fruit. Sharks constantly replenish their worn teeth, with some species going through 24,000 teeth in a decade. Instead of arms and legs, fish have flexible fins in a great variety of forms. So fish are perfectly designed for an underwater life, no matter where they may live. Unusual fish specialists are marvels of God's design. Some fish lead solitary lives, rarely encountering their own kind, while others live in schools that can number billions. Skates and rays shuffle through sandy areas, with their mouth placed underneath to gather food directly from the seafloor. But they have separate holes above to allow clean, sand-free water to reach their gills. Batfish walk slowly over seabeds using their stiff lower fins instead of legs. Many fish must navigate dark or muddy habitats. Blind cavefish don't even have eyes, but forever swim through total blackness. Elephant fish generate electricity to help find their way through African streams. They poke their long tube sensors into gravel beds to locate hidden food. Due to the curse of sin, God provided many fish with sophisticated abilities to help them survive today. Electric eels generate powerful currents of electricity with several electrical organs filling 80% of their body. In this way, they are able to defend themselves as well as stun any prey that comes within range. Archer fish spit water into overhanging branches to knock crawling insects into the water. God has given them the ability to adjust their aim to compensate for the water refraction that would otherwise make them miss their target. Many fish are masters of camouflage. Frogfish hold motionless against a background that matches their color, making them invisible to all but the most careful scrutiny. Rockfish and scorpionfish pretend to be a motionless, weed-covered rock, never moving unless they must. Pipefish mimic swaying seaweed, turning head downward to better match plant growths. Razorfish form coordinated schools that move and shift with every movement of the water currents. Some of the strangest are the seahorses, delicate upright fish that gently glide through the seaweed and coral jungles. They are faithful mates, dutiful parents, and come in a wide variety of colors, sizes, and camouflaged shapes. Truly, God's designs are a wonder to behold. But perhaps the best display of the intricate gifts God has bestowed on fish is found in the unusual senses that they have. All fish have a row of tiny pores running along each side of their body called the lateral line. This delicate sensory organ is more important to fish than vision, as it allows them to feel every movement of the water. Swimming properly, avoiding obstacles, and schooling with thousands of other fish are almost impossible without the lateral line. Only fish have been given this incredible way of instantly sensing and reacting to the constantly changing conditions of turbulent and crowded water habitats. This lateral line is basic to all fish, but many other abilities are available as well. Fish have an acute sense of smell. Sharks use smell as their main tool to locate food across vast distances. Fish have good hearing and often communicate with sounds that we can only hear with special equipment. This surprised the researchers who discovered this form of communication, since fish were assumed to be always silent. Sturgeons and catfish have chemoreceptors that detect chemicals in the water, leading them toward food or away from danger. But the most unusual gift is displayed by catfish, who have taste buds covering their whiskers, face, fins, and body. They can taste their food by rubbing any part of their body against it. In this way, they can decide if it is good to eat before they put it into their mouth. For this incredible ability, catfish have been called living tongues. God seems to love to make animals who are very different from our own experiences. Fish all have a keen sense of touch, especially around the head and lips. They use their mouth to examine their surroundings because they have no hands or paws. Fish have a sophisticated nervous system with a spinal cord and nerves that reach throughout their bodies. All this brings us to the very difficult question of whether fish can feel pain. For many years, scientists were unable to determine if fish could experience physical pain. But modern tests have gone a long way to prove that fish do have pain receptors just like other vertebrate animals. In experiments, fish react to pain in ways like other animals react. They remember pain-producing devices and try to avoid them. All this has led many caring people to reject sport fishing as a cruel indulgence of our recreational whims. If we spent more time studying fish without harming them, we might realize that God has made them truly special in their own way. Cruelty for fun is never God's way. As we explore the exotic and amazing world of God's aquatic kingdom, we find fish to be as sophisticated and well-designed as any other part of creation. Fish are far from being primitive relics of early evolutionary history. The diversity of nature is nowhere better shown than in the complex behavior and physical gifts given to the entertaining world of fish. God's designs truly are extraordinary.